I had a, like, I could do a voice like
Announcer
that. Or an
voice?
auctioneer's voice. Where
Oh.
they're like, anyway, hi guys. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Polite as Fuck. Hopefully you're listening to this on your way to work, on your way home from work. If you are joining us on our YouTube, which you should be, shout out to Erica, who always has like the vibes of the house in mind. We got a new coffee table. I feel like we have that new little night light, which I love. I can get water without being like scared to run into anything. So yeah, so we have a new
vibes
coffee
are
table.
up in the house.
Also, shout out Erica, guys on YouTube. Check out my shirt. This is my Christmas present.
Aww.
My Bash and Luna on my
so
t-shirt,
cute.
which is awesome. I have 2 of them.
I was told that the other shop had like shut down, so I ordered a second one, and I luckily got a refund for the other one, but we still got 2. But they never sent me like a proof of it before, and so there's a picture of Bash
Sleeping,
but she
it's
looks
not.
deceased.
It's not on this one. It's on the other one, and it's like on the bottom of the shirt, and Bash just looks dead with the leash still attached to her.
I sent in that photo because Luna looks good. It's them together, I think, in the picture. And I was hoping they would take the side with Luna. Instead, they like crop out Bash just like in a little ball asleep.
Oh my gosh. I know. I can never get a good picture of both of them in one picture. They're like children.
Yeah.
Can't.
If one's looking, the other's looking away. Yeah.
So dumb. But I love this. Such a cute show. I mean, cute shirt. I'm getting confused with my SHs. Yeah, what are we talking about this week?
So we want to talk about being a good wing woman, a good wing person. I don't actually really know why this came up in my mind. I think I've been thinking about us going out and like being bold and how to like maximize opportunities.
Yes.
And I just feel like I don't really know what to do in situations, like how to be helpful or like,
Yeah.
hype you up if there's someone that you think's cute or vice versa.
Yeah.
So we have some traumatic stories because I was driving past when Ellie first came to visit San Diego, I had just been broken up with, was in a weird headspace, hadn't really been out in like a long time, and then I'm with my best friend who I haven't seen in a while. It's her first time, like it was just like, let's go crazy. And
that we
did. But every time now that I drive past this Marine base in San Diego, I am scarred because I think of that night and
the morning after.
And we drove them back to their cars, which is like, why did we do that?
On the base, I just can't. And it's like, you brought up the fact that like the like patrol guards, they know.
They know.
And it
they
was
know.
just, and in the moment, I was kind of ashamed, but not really. And as time goes on, I'm more and more ashamed of the behavior.
Well, and I was like, I feel like I am ashamed. I'm like, what the heck was I doing? But in the moment, if you would have been like, Erica, no.
Yep.
I don't know that I would have listened to you because I was like,
I don't know. See, this is funny, and this is why I think it's really funny that you said when we were like discussing other like topics for the pod, and you had said like being a good like wing woman or wing person, whatever, and like your thought process on how you got there, because I swear to God, recently I've been reliving said events, that one and all the other ones combined, and just thinking like, how can we still have all of this fun and then like draw a line somewhere, because we never draw the line. No. There's never a line.
It just goes too far.
Goes way too far every time. And so I think that's what I was thinking of like, okay, if I was put in this scenario again, what would I do to like have it us to be the people that we know we can be when we go out or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think that is like goes hand in hand with like being a wing woman, because I'm like, oh, like there are times where I feel like there are times I could say certain things to get you not to do things, and vice versa.
It's true. I guess if I was like making out with him and then I looked and saw you being like horrified, I probably would have been like, oh.
If I told you he looked like Paddington Bear in the moment, would you have stopped?
For context, he had overalls on, no shirt underneath. He had a great body.
Yellow rain boots on and a bucket hat. He looked like Paddington.
I am ashamed.
Well, I can't. Come on, man. We're just... God. I didn't do much better.
Yeah. We've had some interesting nights out. But I'm glad you bring up the, like, line thing. So, okay, I was looking at, like, a few different articles and things that said, like, how you can be a good wing person.
Yeah.
And I want to get your opinion on which approach you think you would prefer.
Okay. Because
one of them is, like, when you know that someone's like, oh my gosh, they're cute, you can go up and be the one that, like, gets, like, has the potential of having the rejection for them. So you can go up and be like, my friend thinks you're really cute. She's over there. Are you interested? Mm-hmm. And if they're like, no, then you go back. But I was thinking about that and I was like, you would know if they weren't interested because I would come back and they would not be with me.
Yeah.
Or I guess I could do it like if you just told me and then you went to the bathroom and I went over to them. But is that like crossing a line by me just like going and talking to them while you're not there?
So I have thought about this, and I think more recently I've thought about doing it to you when especially during our like Be Bold challenge. Where were we? We were somewhere, and I was like, it was our waiter.
Oh.
It was that bartender or whatever, that guy. He was so cute, and I was thinking like, I've never done this for you, and I don't think I've ever really done it to anybody where I just go up and I'm like, oh, my friend thinks you're cute. But I was so close to doing it that night. I was so close, and I wish I would. I still to this day is like, I should have just said something. Aww. But I think with that approach, okay, so this is where my mind goes first, is I don't know if I'm a fan, because what about if they like you instead? That's where my mind goes. You have to think about that sometimes, I feel.
If they're like, I'm not interested in your friend, but I'm interested in you.
Right. So I think that's where my mind, like, first goes. Second, I'm like, we are way past the point of having shitty friends. Like, I don't have shitty friends anymore, because why? What the fuck is the point? Like, I feel like no matter which wing woman, whether it's you or somebody else, it would be like oh, okay, well, see ya. You know, like, it wouldn't be weird. It wouldn't be, no one is going out of their way to be a bitch anymore. Like, we're grown-ups. Mm-hmm. And I also don't think I would mind, like, I just can't picture in my mind, like, we are just, like, it's normally just you and me.
Yeah.
So what would I be doing? Am I just going to sit there watching you walk up to him and then come back without him? Like, I feel if it was maybe in a big group and I was, like, saying something and then I was still talking, to make it look like I'm occupied with something and not just, like, like
holding a drink.
Yeah, just, like, sipping, like, waiting. And then, but to me, that rejection of, like, if you were to walk back by yourself, like, without that guy, it is less painful. I would be like, oh, damn, okay. Well, I'd go about I wouldn't really hurt that like that.
So you would feel like the rejection is less, but it would still be like a
little awkward
situation for you.
For the things that we do when it is just you and I don't think I would want you to do that unless it was like on the way to the like the situation with the bartender. But I wouldn't mind that if we were in like a big group and I was like occupied. I don't want to watch you do it or really like know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're smart enough to like kind of know, but I don't want it to be like, okay, I am walking over there right now and like walk over. I'm like, I don't know if I would.
But if I didn't tell you, would you be like, why is she going to talk to him? Or would you assume?
No, I would know.
Okay.
I would know immediately. Now, I feel like I would just be like, oh, okay.
What you doing?
That's a good one.
It's interesting you brought up the group thing because in the articles I read, it was like guys are like, just like girls, anyone is kind of scared to go up to a big group. So if you are planning to be a wing person, going out in groups of like 2 to 3 is better, so that it's like a more manageable and less intimidating like size to come up and talk to. And it also said like, make sure that you guys dress differently. Which Ellie and I,
can't, it's a problem.
we come out of our rooms and we're wearing the same thing in like different fonts, but it's
Honestly,
the same thing.
Yeah, when it's like, oh, the girl in the leather jacket. We're both wearing leather jackets. The girl in the black top and the jeans. And every single person is wearing a black top and jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, it is really hard. That's funny.
Which I was laughing when I read that, because I'm like, that's fair. Like, you want to be like, my friend that's in that like really fun,
wearing a rose in her lapel. We just need like remember how I was saying signature look for this year? That will be my signature.
Rose in your lapel. You've been reading too much fantasy.
Fucking Harry Potter. Oh, goodness.
That's funny.
Yeah. I think, so it's weird to me because when I was looking at stuff about like being a wing person, or like, what do you like, just like tips or whatever, almost all of the articles are from like 2014, 15, 16, 17. So I'm like, old. Is this even a thing anymore? I guess I haven't really been like your wing woman ever.
Like,
and like, has anybody, are we like not doing that? Because I feel like we should bring it back. Like, I feel like we should make some like distinct points on like how to be one, because I just don't think people think about it anymore. Yeah. Is it just because like the world is so like, my focus is sometimes it's like, it's hard to be a wing person when I'm also looking for my, it's like you have to decide.
That was what I was reading. It was like, if you're going to be the wing person, you need to remember that this night is not about you anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair. And that's fine. I feel like unless we were both like, oh my gosh, this person's so cute. Like, if we both had someone that we were really into, then maybe it would just be one of those moments where it's like, we just need to go up and talk to them ourselves. Yeah. But I feel like very rarely, at least at the same time, are we both like,
boom. Yeah.
These people are so cute. I was thinking, okay, it's also interesting that you brought up the, if they would like me, or like if they would like you better if it was the same, like the person that I was having you go up to.
Yeah.
Of like, you can have your friend or the wing person like distract the other friend. But I'm like, we are both like good looking girls.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it's like,
I don't want to be with the ugly friend. I don't want
to talk to the other friend.
I would rather just go by the bar and be by myself.
Yeah, but it's like you start the conversation with the other guy, so then it's like you guys are talking, and then clearly they're together, so then you would start talking to the person that you're interested in.
We did this, actually. I feel like I did this with you. I mean, he wasn't ugly, but with what's his name, and we went out and he brought his friend, and we were eating. We were in Little Italy.
Oh.
And I think that it was a nice night. I feel like it depends on whether or not you can have a conversation. I think it was clear from the beginning that neither of us were like into each other, and it was clear that you guys were. Yeah. So we were like taking one for the team, but like we were able to have it was still fun and still able to have a conversation. He wasn't a dick, and I don't think I was being a bitch. Like, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say though that was like kind of preset. Because, we had been messaging, and I knew they were over there. I knew he was with a friend. Yeah. Like, we kind of had the expectation going into it.
That's true.
That's what that was. I don't know that we've done it where it's like...
in the, like, spontaneous, like, in the moment. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The moment that keeps replaying in my mind that I want to, like, think about and bring up and kind of, like, be, like, the baseline of the kind of wing woman that I want to be... also the kind of like wing woman that I would want you to be is Blackout Wednesday, that situation. And like, so think back to that day, that night. I think there are going to be times where we're going to like mix drinks and get shit faced and like all of these things, like those kind of times, like sometimes they're going to happen. Mm-hmm. I think like we're getting better at that. So I think besides like the mixing of the drinks and the amount of drinks that were like had, we were still having like a fun night with a group or whatever.
Yeah.
When it got to the like be bold challenge of like, okay, let's go talk to these two guys, I think that is like where I like want to start to analyze. Yeah, we're gonna break it down. Okay. In the moment, like I think we both found like guys that we wanted to, and I love that we were able to just be like, okay, if you do it, I do it, and I said that to you, and you're like, okay, like you jumped off, and I was like, oh my gosh. I think that's great, and I also really liked how like after we kind of went after it, we came back to like check in with each other. Yeah. And I think that is a little bit of a different scenario than what you were talking about like going up and talking to someone. Or like being with like the ugly friend. I hate saying that. But I think that's so important. It's like constantly check in, because you can never have like every situation, every outing is going to be different. So I think if it's too like routine and like robotic, it's not going to be authentic, and our best selves aren't going to come across to whoever we're talking about. Loved that. I think the thing that I need to work on is like keeping tabs. And like when it gets to that point, I think even in the state that we were in, we both should have been like, okay, we've had like a lot to drink. We should at least stay in the same like vicinity of each other. I think we were like ping-ponging and making plans every which way that we are not holding each other accountable. And it was so easy to be like, oh, no one's here to tell me no, so I'm going to go off and do whatever. Yeah. I think that is like the big like turning point that we had I think also like designating someone to like be the accountability person. Like if everybody like took turns to just have that check-in, it would be so much better. Because my moment would be the time that I went up to you and him, and he was ordering the Uber for you to go, and I was like gonna hop in the Uber. I think that in that moment, club was closing, no more to drink, everybody's going home. In that moment, I should have been like, actually, you know what? We're just gonna go home. We had like done our cute little phone exchanges or whatever with whoever we wanted to hang out with. We could have been like, it was so nice meeting you, but we're gonna go back, and then ended it like that so that we could have continued. It could be like a slow build, or like if he's interested, he'll call back and like not make any. And then that way I could help you with your situation.
With my puking in the car.
Right. Yeah. And I think about that, and I'm like, in that moment, if I would have just said, actually, I think we're just going to go. Yeah. Because I think even in that moment, if I looked at you and I was like, I want to go, you would have been like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts? No, that was a lot to analyze. I hope you guys kind of followed along the timeline here of this outing that we had.
And we've explained this before, so hopefully you've listened to that episode. But I agree. I feel like we like hyped each other up. We were with friends, so we were having a good time, but it wasn't like a big group. Right. Which I think was really nice. Because I think about us, we kind of went at the same time to go talk to those guys. But then we had somewhere to like come back to because our friends were there, which was nice. Whereas I feel like if we weren't with other people and we both left to go talk to the guys, I don't know that I would have known where to meet up with you again. Yeah, that's true. Or I would have been like, okay, let me go find my friend. Yeah. Like calling you, or like gone to the bathroom or something, which is fine. And I don't think every situation we can have that set up. But that was just something I was thinking about while you're explaining that. Was like, we came back and were dancing with our friends and checked in with each other. Yeah. Which was nice to have that. I agree on the going home together piece. Like, I feel like unless, and I feel like you would know, unless I, like, met the love of my life.
Really, literally. Like... But the thing is we never do, and we always end up going on or not crossing a line.
That needs to be the boundary.
That needs to be the line, because I'm always like, it's never worth it. but I like having these nights. So like, what can we do better? And I think about that so much. So much.
So you're, okay, I guess in this setting then, we're more of just like hyping each other up, but we're not having the other person like help us go in for the person.
Yes. And I think besides that, I think like being a good wing person or wing woman of like being able to check in and be like, okay, well, what is it that you want to do? Like as soon as we had kind of like come back and checked in this moment to be a wing woman for each other of like, okay, where do you want the night to go? Mm-hmm. It's just so hard because when there's like music and we're dancing and we're looking at each other, we both are like, I don't know. It's so hard.
I know. I will say my poor communication, I just assume a lot of things, I think, especially when I drink, of like, you guys were all dancing and he had texted me to go get a drink and I didn't tell anyone that I just walked away. But I was like, they're gonna be here, they're all fine. So I feel like that is something, regardless, I should be like, I'm gonna go get a drink with him, or I'm gonna go sit over here with him, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So at least you're not like now trying to figure out where I went.
Right.
Which is not a good use of anyone's time when you're trying to have a good time.
I agree.
So I think, okay, so is that like the boundary we need to draw then? We're not going home separately. We show up together, we leave together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that is just like something that's been my like boundary for a minute. Is like I don't like when people come over to like my room. I just don't like that anymore. And so I think like I had taken that moment of like, oh, she's doing her own thing, this leads me to a perfect opportunity to go figure out my own shit. And so I think if I would have just stuck with that boundary but then also been like, okay, I just want to go home, that's my line, that's my boundary. That is like hard line in the sand, even on like the craziest nights.
I think that's good because even in the moment when I'm like, this will be fun, it's not. Yeah. And then I just want them away. Yeah. And then I just want to go to bed.
I think there's certain times like, okay, this doesn't include like holidays or vacations. I feel like if we're on a holiday or on a vacation, not Blackout Wednesday, that's not what I mean by holiday. It's a little different and we can like discuss during different situations. But I think overall, like in my life, when I'm looking for a connection with a guy, I don't want it to start off like that. Even if, because we meet like decent people at bars all the time. I don't want to be like, oh, I can't meet anybody. But sometimes it's like, take it too far and I don't want that. So I think that's a good, draw that line in the sand. Hard line.
You heard it here, folks. Yeah. That's the line. That's the boundary. Okay, I think that's good. I'm down with that.
What other, like, instances in the past? It's hard, because I can actually only think of one for me, and mine would be the farmer's market day of, like, meeting that guy. Oh. Have you had, like, any moments of,
okay, wait, let's unpack that.
Okay.
Because in that setting, would it have been better if I was like, oh, I'm going to, like, go use the bathroom? Or I wish I could wink. I just rolled my eyes in the back of my head.
It did like a triple blink. She's seizing.
Oh gosh, that's so bad. If I could wink, it would be over for everyone. Anyway,
stop crying now.
In that, I could have been like, wink, wink, I'm going to go to the bathroom, leave you guys alone. Would you have felt more confident in that setting to, like, say something to him if it was just you?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that moment, I'm just trying to think, like, in that situation.
Which, if you haven't heard this story either, we were at the farmer's market. There's a really cute guy. He had a dog. We were sitting there eating. He was ordering his food. Ellie was kind of like talking to the dog a little bit to him. And then we left.
As Ellie does. Talks to the fucking dog, not the person. And he was like, I don't know. He was so cute, and he was just like looking at me, and I was like, "Okay, bye." Like, nice dog. See you later. But yeah, I think in that moment for me to like catch, sometimes I'm like, my brain can't figure out what I want. So
well, I think it's like that's a lot of pressure to like potentially, there's always the potential of rejection, and now it's just like us.
Yeah.
Like that's like a really intimate setting, whereas I feel like
to be rejected and then turn to you and be like, "Okay, let's walk back to the car," would have been a lot. Whether if like you were like, "Okay, I'm gonna go walk up a little bit or go to the bathroom," then I can like either text you or just walk up to you and be like, "Yeah, he wasn't interested," and then we could go
and then
back.
we go do our thing. Yeah. Then
I also think too, like, that is a perfect opportunity, like a good practice too, of even like being rejected and being a wing person, of like finding people in a farmer's market, because like you're in a wide open space. Even if I'm not near you, I can literally walk away and just find you later. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true.
Do you have any like situations like that? I'm trying to think.
I feel like there's a lot of situations where I'm like, I want to talk to them, but I get too scared. I get too nervous, or like I talk myself out of it, like the guy at the farmer's market, the milkman.
The milkman. Literally.
Which, like, okay, he had a booth. So is that weird to, like, I was feeling weird about, like, trapping him in a setting that he didn't want to be in. Like, he has to stay at this booth. He can't walk away from me.
Yeah.
So if he feels, like, uncomfortable or something, I don't want him to feel weird.
Yeah.
If I'm
but I feel like you would know.
Okay, so this is also in the articles of like having a wing person is really helpful, because you might be really in your head about something, but they can like really see what's happening and read body language and read cues and be like, no, like that's not what's happening right now. Yeah. And like kind of like help you.
It's hard though, because like I am just probably more of an overthinker. And so I'm like, I don't know. And then you're like, does he like me? And I'm like,
I don't know, maybe.
Because of course I'm like, of course he likes you, look at you. But then I don't want to be like, I don't know. But I think I can tell. But I also think you can tell too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's that initial like going up. So I guess in this setting, we're talking about us being the ones that is talking to the person, not having someone go up.
Well, that's what I was going to say. In this situation, or maybe not this situation because he was the one in the booth, but like overall, would you want me to go up? Do you? That question, very beginning, first question, you answer.
I feel like in that setting, it would have been nice if you like, if we walked away from that booth and I was like, he is really cute. Can you go give him my number if he wants it? Like, what if I
love that though, because it's simple, easy. If he texts you, that's great. If he doesn't, okay.
Yeah. And then like, I don't have to be, I don't know. Sometimes you just get nervous. And I feel like having someone be like, my friend thinks you're really cute. Here's her number if you're interested. And we were just there, so we would know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then we walk away.
I like that. That's a good one. I think the number is so easy. You can use that anywhere and it's quick. Even if it was like the bartender, even in like situations where it is just you and I'm by myself. Like if you just walk by and like slip, it's like.
Do we need to have our numbers like pre-written on like
no? Well, you see, Taylor sent us those that Instagram reel of the dating business cards.
Oh yeah,
that's really funny.
I actually really like that.
I know.
Maybe we make something like that.
Put like the polite as fuck QR code on there too. That's so funny.
And here's our podcast. Okay, I just remembered something.
Oh, okay.
Remember when we were at True North and that guy came up to me and he was like, my friend thinks you're really cute. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, tell your friend to come over here then and tell me that. Mm-hmm. And his friend wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. And he was like creepily staring, and then we like kind of left. Mm-hmm. Which like I didn't know who his friend was. I think I was just like, okay, you're not the person, so go tell the person who thinks I'm cute to come over here. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that is like a cop out? Like if I do that, if I'm like, can you go tell him? That the guy would be like, not interested because I'm not confident enough to go over there? I wish we had a male's perspective.
Same. But I also think, too, you would have to be doing something. I think it's like in the situation of where the wing woman or wing person goes to the person and says like, my friend thinks you're whatever.
Yeah.
The friend needs to be doing something, because if he was standing, if the guy was, let's say in that situation where the guy came up to you and was like, my friend thinks you're cute, and he's ordering, the whole group is at the bar ordering drinks, you probably would have been a little like inclined to be like, which one's your friend?
Yeah.
It would have like led a little bit more. You turn around and they're all staring at you, you're immediately going to be like, hello, like which one? I'm not going to talk to you. This is weird.
This is weird. Okay, that's good. So if you're gonna have your friend do that, you need to be occupied.
Yeah, like go to the bar, order a drink, go get a water.
Yeah, if you're at the farmer's market, look at another
around.
stall.
Yes, like go, like you need to be doing something, because if you're just sitting there
watching,
then you're gonna come across that like not confident.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay. That's good. So then the setting where, okay, it's the two of us and there's a cute guy and his friend. Let's just say his friend's not hideous, but he's not someone you're attracted to.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, okay, you go up and talk to the friend and I start talking to the guy. I feel like it's very rare that like we have siloed conversations side by side. Like the group is kind of having a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then how do we get away to where now it's just me and the guy? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Damn, I really wish in this scenario the friend was cute.
I think that's rare.
Yeah, very rare.
Or maybe just rare that like we're both attracted to both of them.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm trying to say.
It's almost like, I don't know. Is it a cop-out to just say, let's all, like, go do something? Like, let's all go get a drink. Let's all go get food, like, as a group?
Yeah. Honestly,
and, like,
I don't think so.
Extend it a little bit longer, because the only other option I can think of in that moment is me to the ugly friend saying, like, hey, like, do you want to, like, walk this way or go check this out? But then it's like, I think I have a habit of engaging a little too long in conversations, or just being like not myself. Not that I'm not a nice person, but I put on this like huge, because I just don't want people to feel uncomfortable, or like I want to be like come across as nice. I'm so worried about what people fucking think of me all the time that I might like be a little too nice, you know. I'm always so worried. The wrong idea
or something. Okay. Well, because when you're brought up that night, which the night that I had a date with some guy and he was with his friend and Ellie was with me. And I thought that was so fun for me because it was like I was hanging out with you, and when there were like not even lulls in conversation, but like you could like bring up things about me that wouldn't make me seem like cocky because I'm like talking about myself, or vice versa. Like we know each other, so we can like bring up things about each other, talk about interests that like maybe the other person has, you know? It like just kind of...
They got a full front seat to basically Polite as Fuck podcast episode.
They were at the podcast. So I thought that was really fun. So in my mind, I would prefer if we all just stuck together and we're like talking. And even if like, okay, if we already know that the boundary is, or the line that we're not crossing is that we're not going to go home with these people regardless, then I feel like it's not the end of the world if like, maybe I'm not really attracted to the friend or vice versa.
Yeah. And sometimes like you just got to take one for the team.
Yeah.
If it's different when you like you guys were clearly vibing, there's not like someone else like off afar in the distance that I'm interested in. Like what else do I have to do besides sit here, drink, and hang out with my best friend? Like it's not that bad. Like it's not the end of the world.
Not every night is gonna end with your knight in shining armor
exactly
person or a new number or something. Yeah.
But that like kind of like what I was saying about how I'm like overly nice to people, that makes me think of when we were out, oh God, they're all blurring together, but I think it was kind of recently, and we were in the place when we were with Taylor, and that place that you like go downstairs and it's like the grassy fake door and you have to like walk in and it's all like a seashells like on the inside.
Vende Sera.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait, let's talk about this. Yeah, what are you going to bring up about this night?
I'm going to bring up the gentleman that was talking to me at the very beginning, the very, very start.
Yes. I want you to tell your side, but I just want to say, from my perspective, we literally were like a line. Like, it was packed. I think it was like Taylor, you, me. And you guys both get like swooped in, and then I was like, I don't even know what's going on yet. I'm like awkwardly like dancing to the side.
It was so much. It was too much all at once. It was like right. Everybody was talking, and I was like,
okay, so say your perspective on that.
Okay, so we walk in. This place is really nice, but it's kind of quiet. I mean, you're outside, and then you literally open the door, and it's just like loud music, a shit ton of people, depending on what time and we were like in a line, and this guy just comes up and starts talking to me, and like it's loud, there's people all around, I'm trying to find you, but he's trying to say something, so he has to like say it like in my ear because we're like, it's so loud in there.
Yeah. And
he had said something like, you look really nice, or I honestly don't even remember. Sometimes like I just black out when people talk to me. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying actually. And he was nice. He was good looking. It just wasn't my type. I wasn't really feeling it. I also wasn't about like, he wasn't swept me off my feet enough to like, okay, I'm going to stop hanging out with this group. Ditch my friends so that I can hang out with you.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. Okay. I was like, thank you. I think I said, and then he said something else, and I'm like, yeah, like giggling, and then like, he's just like, where are you from? Like trying to have this conversation. Mm-hmm. So my issue is I didn't know how to get out of it. But I also like every indication, my body language, I was leaning into him to try to like talk back because it was so loud. He was asking me a question. I was looking at him. If I was like having an out of body experience, or like you were in this position and I saw you, I would have been like, oh, she's interested. She's smiling. She's talking. She's
fully thought you were, which is why I was like, I'm just going to keep
I know. And what made me think, and I think about this a lot too, is Taylor was like, oh, okay, so him. And I'm like, no. And everybody was like, what? And I'm like, fuck, I fucked up. But I don't know what to do. Like, I'm and I'm not going to be like, help me when he's right there.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't hard. He was very nice. I think he was doing everything right. I just wasn't interested, and I just didn't want to become like, I don't want to, God, I don't know if this is like not feminist of me, but like I don't want to push a decent guy down because they're so far and few to come across, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, I have to be a dick to get a girl's attention. Like, no, this is great, just not for me.
I'm just not physically attracted. I feel like in that setting, because I genuinely thought you were into it, which is why I was like not doing anything. And Taylor too, like you guys were both talking to them for a long time.
I know.
So I was like, okay, but I feel like I was alone, so you could have been like, I need to go check on my friend. Like I can be the cop out in that of like, well, I'm like here with my friends, so like have a great night or something. I don't know.
Which is weird because I do that all the time. Like when we're like dancing and people come up to me and I'm like, oh, I'm by myself. That was what happened with that freaking Cuban guy, the giraffe guy or whatever, zebra. I was like, I'm here with my friend, and then I turn around and you're making out with someone. He's literally like, oh yeah, you and your friend. I'm like, yeah. Literally like a movie. Fuck.
My friend's a little busy, but she'll come back, I swear. Yikes.
Oh, goodness.
Yikes. That same night, though, there was that guy that was like, remember that guy that was like dancing on me? Which I was like, this is like fine until it's not fine.
Was it the like only other tall guy in the place? Yeah.
And I was giving you the look. I was like,
yeah,
make it stop, but I didn't know what to do. Like in those settings, I feel like it would be weird if you said something to him and we're like, my friend doesn't like that. Stop. Like I feel like I have to be big enough to be like, I'm good.
I know.
Thank you.
It is nice that we can read each other's cues, because I feel like after that, if we saw that person coming, we could like shimmy away.
Yeah.
It is really difficult though, like in the moment. Especially when like you want to dance with someone, so you're dancing and then they turn you around. You're like, fuck.
Well, that's when I need you to give me the face of like, is this good? Do I want them dancing with me, or is this bad? Do I not want this?
I know, and in the moment I'm always like,
maybe. I don't know what you want. Maybe this is what you want today.
Which is just so bad. So funny.
But I think, okay, I do think that's like a good thing to know of like, I do have a bit of a type, but not like fully.
Yeah, what's my type? Because sometimes I think I do.
Well, I thought I knew your type, and no, I don't know.
I don't even know my type anymore. I'm like, I don't know. That's a whole other...
Like, initially, I would say, like, a big, like, muscular paramedic.
With tats.
With tats.
But it is
but
still,
you're like, I need
me?
a little, I don't want him to be too white. So I'm like, okay, so maybe a Latino, bulky, but then he's not going to be really tall. He might be a little short. Is that okay?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's getting to the point where I'm literally like, it's a feeling.
I'll just know when I
Which is literally like every self-help book I'm reading right now is like, that's fake.
Yeah. What books are you reading?
Just that 101 essays. I don't read self-help. I don't know why I try to come across smarter than I am. All the self-help books I'm reading.
That's a really good one.
4 chapters back to back was like, the feeling that you're waiting for doesn't fucking exist. Yeah. And I'm like, but I've been baking on that feeling.
I've just been hoping it would just happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, where we have to be... like communicating, having those check-ins, and like being fully aware of ourselves. Like even with even for me, like I'm drinking this January, so if like I'm going out to drink, like I have to be an adult, and if I really want like my life to change or to find someone or to be happier, to like live this life, I think, or have this like actual dating scene, I kind of have to follow these rules. And I think having a good like wing woman or wing person is helpful, but I also have to do a little bit of work in order to like have you help succeed in my success and vice versa, you know? Mm-hmm. Which we're good at check-ins until a point.
I feel like we're good at check-ins after.
After, yeah. Oh, yeah, we can debrief until the cows come home. There's nothing like a after debrief. Are you kidding me?
But in the moment, I don't know that we're always the best at it.
That's true.
Or we look at each other. Maybe we need to do a little more.
We actually have to talk because this isn't cutting it anymore. We're just like...
Big eyes. Okay, 2 things. One is that I feel like what we could make a practice is just talking to people in general. And so when there's a person that we're actually attracted to, it's already like we already have the routine, not even, but like we're comfortable with both of us like making conversation, because we go to fun places, we go out and do fun things, and we sit at our table and we don't talk to anyone, and we look and then we leave. Like I feel like I think about like standing in line, or like when there's a big group of people and we're like, I don't know, making conversation, like we don't have to be interested in them necessarily to be friendly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is something I would like to work on, but I feel more confident if it was like a team effort.
Yeah, I love that though. Because it's like, yeah, why? That's such a problem nowadays. It's like we don't want to give anybody our attention because we don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. But it's also like, who's to say they're interested? Just be a nice fucking person and have like I think
about all the friends in our friend group. I'm not really attracted to any of them, but they're all so nice, and I can have conversations with them, and when they have their backyard parties and or whatever, good friends, like I don't think they're thinking anything weird, I'm not thinking anything weird, like we're just talking.
Literally being humans.
And then my second thing,
it's gonna come to you.
Oh, this isn't actually what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Was, how would you feel if I met someone out and I thought that you might be interested in them and gave them your number? Like if we weren't together, is that being a wing woman? If I'm like the person I just described, I was talking to them in line and I was like, are you single? I think you'd really like my friend. This is her number.
Maybe not number.
Okay. Like Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could look. Or if it's like we're out doing something or we're going to be doing something and like say we're gonna be here. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, we're gonna go out tonight. We'll be at True North if you are in the area.
Yes.
So, okay. So, but I feel like in that setting, if they're not planning to go out, what if we never see them?
Then yeah, Instagram.
Okay. You'd prefer Instagram over a number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I need to look.
Yeah.
Because as much as I want to have the like do it for the plot attitude, I just don't. Would you? What would you? I just don't. If I can't, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
I feel
I'm
like
just,
if it becomes like a habit of talking to people,
yeah,
then it might actually happen. And I feel like I would prefer my number. Because then if they were interested, just based on your recommendation, they would reach out. I feel like sometimes people can look at an Instagram and overanalyze and talk themselves out or like, you know, like I would rather you reach out because you're genuinely interested in what my friend said about me. And then we can like, you know, I don't know, send a picture or something. Like, what do you look like?
Maybe, maybe that. That's very true.
I also hate messaging on Instagram. So if they start to message me on Instagram, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, that's very true. Fuck. Yeah, I might change my answer then.
I mean, if you like Instagram, that's fine.
No, I think you're right, because I would just be like, meh. As I do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, being a wing woman, it's tough out there. It's rough out there. But I think I just love that point of like, maybe just talk to people. Just in general.
Yeah. Be more personable. Which I think we are. I think sometimes when we're just together, though, it's like a crux because we know that we can just hang out with each other.
Yeah. And
we don't necessarily need to entertain. Not that you're entertaining. It's really just being friendly.
Yeah.
And just being engaging, which I think is... I'm like, has it always been this way? Is it post-COVID era that, like, people don't know how to be?
I think it's everything. I think it's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
COVID for sure.
Yeah. I feel like, because of apps, people are just used to, like, not having to be bold to, like, interact.
I just think, yeah, people just don't, like, want to interact. So they're just like,
I don't know that it's that they don't want, because like if someone came up and talked to us or like even that story that we told about that guy that was like, should I break up with my baby mama?
I
like
forgot about him.
So weird and funny, but like that was a good story and that was funny and we were laughing.
Yeah,
like that provided entertainment.
That's true.
I feel like
clearly people like that come up to us all the time, so it's clearly written on our faces somewhere.
But I just feel like unless you're going to be an asshole, like come and talk. And so I would assume most people kind of feel the same way.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell when someone's like headphones in, not making eye contact, like I'm not going to interrupt you in your zone type thing.
Very true. I like that. I think for me it's like I don't like having these nights or like I say that I'm sick of the way like the dating is here or whatever. I don't want to have to give up certain things because I make bad decisions. Let me rephrase. I don't want to have to stop going out because I make bad decisions. I don't want to have to stop drinking because I make that go into something else, which isn't true. Not every time that I go out and drink does it end in something or another. So I think just being like very secure in myself of what my goals are, and also like I don't need to chase just for the sake of chasing. So I think when it comes to like actually being a good like wing woman is me saying like, no, I am interested in this person, like help me out.
Speaking up and saying what you want.
Yeah. And I think for both of us too, of just like when we are out, like it sucks because like we do have each other's back, but I'm gonna say like have each other's back even more of be like, I know her, I don't think she's going to be, like, interested in this person or wants whatever is happening over here. I need to, which, like, sometimes I can when it's, like, I very much know I will say something. But other times, like, that guy that I ran into, like, when all of the body language is, like, leaning, like, towards, like, oh, she's interested, like, maybe just, like, interrupting just in case.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Lessons learned, things to take away. And really quick side note, I feel like so Ellie and I have been, because you're working now, but I'm not really working. So I'm like, it's 4:00. Can we go out? So we've been going out kind of early, which like the dancing and stuff doesn't start that early. But I feel like practicing talking to people is better when it's not in like the club setting.
Like a happy hour situation.
Yeah. So I'm like,
this is good.
Not opposed to us doing more of those, because I feel like that's a good setting to talk to people instead of at 11 at night when people are shit-faced. And
I agree.
Yeah.
Probably get like decent, I mean, not that we don't, but like better people. Options.
Well, sometimes I don't.
Oh, goodness.
Hopefully this was helpful for y'all. If you're trying to be a wing person for someone, I think it's good to have that. Like, this was helpful for me, kind of knowing your thinking process and what you prefer in what settings, and have the conversation with your friends. It's tough out there. But I feel like if you're not trying to be on an app, you gotta speak up. You gotta have people in your corner support you. All right, that's it. That's a wrap. Go like and subscribe if you like this episode or any of our others. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Polite as Fuck Podcast. We'll see you next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday.